Hello, thank you for being in a new video. This time I have an unboxing of the Motorola Edge 50 Pro. Let's get started. This device has an advertised price for Mexico of 12,999 pesos. On the screen you see the reference price in dollars to give you an idea. Although remember that the prices here are not the same as those there. Generally in Mexico prices are higher, but I must tell you that this device gives me the perception of having a very competitive price compared to what other manufacturers offer in the country. So come with me to take it out of its box. Right off the bat, we find the phone to be exaggeratedly beautiful. Notice how the back cover has a pearl-like finish. I don't know how to describe it, but it honestly looks very nice with different reflections, including also in the part of the camera module, which by the way has a small relief at the bottom and on the right side, but then stays at this same level of thickness. Personally, I find it one of the most beautiful devices of the year. Let's put it on power and see what else comes in the box. Notice the new power display. I like that it's in color. As you notice, we come across the 125 watt charger. It's a pretty powerful charger, although it does feel heavier than I would like, but it's obviously going to charge in an instant. And then comes the cable that comes from USB-C to USB-C with a little orange highlight on the inside for easy recognition. Remember that if you want to use the fastest charging possible, you need to use this original charging adapter and this original cable, because otherwise you could end up with a much slower charge. And in this case, that's all that's in the box. However, this is a unit that has been sent to me for review, but the unit that is sold in Mexico, according to what you can see in the store, also includes a fully wireless headset of the new generation of Motorola. So it is a very good opportunity. With this same price, I think it comes very well. And well, also in this other box that comes on the back of the initial cover, it's supposed to come with a little bit more quick information, probably some other stuff. But since this is a review unit that I've been sent, it doesn't come with any content either. So, sorry for this somewhat thirsty unboxing, but let's finish putting this away and let's take a look at the DVC. I've already got this device set up, so join me in getting to know it, because it's really going to offer us, I think, some considerably attractive specs compared to the price at which it's going to be distributed. It weighs 186 grams and is 8.19 millimeters thick. As I told you, the design is going to be a very positive point of this device. It also integrates curved screen and the back cover is exaggeratedly beautiful. But it is not only a beautiful device, it is also resistant with IP68 certification and Gorilla Glass 5. I think for the price range, it is perfectly well balanced with good resistance and good aesthetics. This screen has a diagonal of 6.67 inches with OLED technology, and the resolution is 1220 by 2712 pixels with 144 Hz in its refresh rate. So there is no doubt that this is a very good screen with excellent technology. And for the price, it's also going to stand out, considering that there are even more expensive devices that still have full HD displays. And this one goes beyond that resolution, giving us an excellent level of detail. It also has Dolby Atmos with stereo sound, a speaker at the bottom and another one in the earpiece for calls, so it also complements the multimedia experience perfectly with a good screen, good sound. As you realize, everything is going positive so far. Good design, good screen, good sound. Let's move on. The front camera is 50 megapixels with f1.9 aperture. It also has autofocus. Again, that's a very positive point, nothing to complain about that camera. And as first impressions in the preview, before taking the picture, it still looks very burnt out in the background. Possibly this we could ask it to improve, but that's getting pretty picky. Because honestly, in the price range, only some iPhone possibly has something better. Obviously, after taking the picture, it does a better processing, so it perfectly balances the lights and shadows. It maintains a good level of detail in the shadow area, is also perfectly well detailed image. So honestly, again, that's a point that I think is very strong about this device. On the back, we have the 13 megapixel ultra-wide camera with f2.2 aperture and autofocus, so it doubles as a macro camera. Then there's the 50 megapixel main camera with f1.4 aperture. It's an ultra-bright lens, possibly the brightest in the industry today. It also has optical stabilization and obviously autofocus. And finally, we have the telephoto camera with 3x zoom and f aperture 2.0. Also within the telephoto lenses, it has a very bright aperture. So the photographic system is expected to be able to take very good pictures at night with any of the lenses. Watch, here are some example pictures. This is the ultra-wide camera, which honestly in backlight I didn't find that amazing in this case. But hey, we're talking about a camera that is not the star of the device and also has a bit of noise present. I think that will perhaps be its lowest point. Now you're looking at a picture with the main camera, though again backlit it doesn't seem to surprise too much. Although it was a pretty intense backlight in this environment, but it's just a first look. And I feel it lacks a bit of contrast in the shadow area, but it's a very good camera. At the 2x zoom setting, that's where you're going to notice the most that it's going to lack contrast in the shadow area. But when we switch to 3x, again, it recovers a good quality. And in fact, in this case, as it is no longer a backlight so intense because the area of lights is little, I think the result is much better. We have a good quality in the detail. Now you're looking at a photograph with the 5x zoom, which is digital, but it still maintains excellent quality. Now this photograph is with 10x zoom and finally 30x, which is the maximum zoom. And I think it's very well used. Obviously you can tell it's digital zoom, but I think for this price, it's a very competitive zoom. Now watch, this is the result that the main camera is able to give us in macro shots. As you can see, the blur is ultra aggressive because of the f1.4 aperture. It's very nice. But it's not able to get as close to small objects. Still, the photograph looks considerably good to me. But now look at what the macro camera is capable of capturing. And definitely that this device has excellent camera quality. Do not confuse it with the macro camera of other devices, because in this case we are talking about a camera that has two functions, ultra-wide and macro, and therefore has a much higher quality sensor compared to the 2 megapixel macro cameras that integrate other devices that I hate. Even note that the portrait photography is also of good quality, having a good detection of the foreground to correctly blur the background, and lets you take these pictures from different focal lengths applying zoom, and that is something that few devices allow in this price range. So I insist that the quality of the photos is super good also in portrait. This device does allow us to record video in 4K even with the ultra-wide camera and also with the telephoto camera, in fact also with the front camera. So again, the video recording capabilities also seem to be very remarkable with all the cameras, and that is something that few devices can boast, and honestly I find it very attractive that for this price you can enjoy it. The battery is 4,500 milliamps and supports 125 watt charging. The charger is included in the box. It also supports wireless charging and it also supports reversible wireless charging. So in features, again, we see something very advanced. Possibly the battery capacity falls a little short, and that will perhaps be its main weakness as most devices today come with 5,000 milliamp batteries, but you know that capacity doesn't always accurately reflect performance. So in the review we will do different battery life tests so that we have a little clearer idea, but right off the bat it seems to have a bit low capacity, but complemented very well with good charging, good wireless charging features and other things. And by the way, I forgot to tell you that it even smells good. You know, Motorola has a collaboration with a perfume company, so when you take the device out of the box, you'll notice that it smells like it's been perfumed. It comes with Android 14 out of the box, plus it comes with 512 gigabytes of storage and 12 gigabytes of RAM. In fact, it also comes with another 4 gigabytes of virtual RAM, so it's a super complete and very competitive device. And the processor is the Snapdragon 7 Gen 3. So let's run a benchmark test to get an idea of the performance that this processor is capable of giving us. I'll be back when this test is done. And we already have the results here. The processor has a total of 2,143 points on single core and 3,120 on multi-core, showing that it's a powerful enough processor. I think that for the price range, it is fine. Later we can compare it against other options if you wish. For now, this has been all for this video. If you liked it, you know you can tell us about it, and we'll see you next time.